What's this minus 5% HP every second crap? Zilong, why do you even bother giving us this buff? Hi guys, welcome back to another Counterside video. Today we are going to revisit Sollicitatio. I didn't butcher the name. Her base mechanics remain the same, so if you would like to know what she does in the entire fight, you can check out this video right here. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to this video so you can be notified when I release the Moderator Type B guide video soon. Getting right into it, the buff added to the players this week applies to the Zodiac Knight Blue Shift faction. This faction consists of Esterosa, Young Han Sol, Aries, Fion, and Liv. However, the ones with significant potential are basically Aries and Han Sol, as Esterosa, Fion, and Liv are not known for their damage output. This particular fight also doesn't require a tank, hence we will not be considering the three of them this time. The handicap for this week's Sollicitatio fight, however, is kind of scary at first glance, and in truth, it did affect how we should prioritize the deployment sequence for the boss. Continue to watch and I will show you how I managed that for this boss fight shortly. The key units for this boss remains the same. You will need Gabriel to stop Sollicitatio in her tracks in phase 1 and 2 if you make it this far. Ju Shiyun for countering the boss's skill that plants a landmine beneath your units, Sanae for her AoE passive damage boost against siege units. So far, there are no units that perform better than these guys for those specific functions. Assuming that we only have suboptimal gear at our disposal, the goal is to keep Gabriel alive throughout phase 1, make sure your Shiyun is outside the AoE passive silence of the boss in phase 2, one final push in DPS during the third and final phase. Now that we got 3 key units out of the way, these are the units that I recommend you include for the remaining slots in the team. You want 2 to 3 supports, namely Harim for skill haste and pseudo barriers and heals, Aries for barriers and heals, Chinatsu for damage reduction and heals. If you find that you can survive with 2, you may omit Chinatsu from the selection. You'll also want one to do DPS, and I highly recommend Admin Rifleman, which is a low-cost high DPS unit, and Gaeyun, which is a 3-cost high DPS unit that can backstep, improving her chances of survival. Note that I did not recommend Kim So-bin and Awakened Yumina due to their high deployment cost. There will be times where your whole team will most probably wipe and you'll need to redeploy fast. Lower cost units basically means you can get them out quicker and cycle units faster in case you're looking for a key unit to drop like Gabriel or Ju Shiyun. Gearing for this team is very simple. You want double HP sets for Gabriel to increase his tankiness, cooldown reduction for Ju Shiyun, ideally 50% skill haste and above so that he can always have his special skill off cooldown when Sollicitatio casts the landmine skill beneath your units. Cooldown reduction set or HP sets for Aries and Chinatsu, your healers, for quicker heals and better sustain. As for your Admin Rifleman and Gaeyun, you can either go for full attack speed set or Gaeyun can just go for cooldown reduction as well for maximum DPS. Now let's get into the most important part of the video, deployment sequence and strategy. At the beginning of phase 1, you want to begin the fight with Gabriel at the front, Chinatsu or Harim nearby, and Ju Shiyun at the back. Drop the rest of your healers right after to keep Gabriel alive if you're having trouble keeping him alive. The priority is to set Gabriel up first before beefing up your DPS. Once you drop your rifleman, you'll want to assess if you are able to drop more DPS units or redeploy healers Ju Shiyun or Gabriel. Remember, the priority is Gabriel has to be up first, Ju Shiyun needs to be on the field, then we talk about DPS. Once you clear the first bar of HP from the boss, she will backstep and cast a skill which clumps your units together, making them move forward just a little bit, but this will most likely cause your units to enter her passive AoE, which is the red circle around her, and have a silencing effect. You'll need to redeploy Ju Shiyun out of it to keep countering her skills. In this phase, Gabriel will still be able to stop Sollicitatio from getting past him. When the timer hits 1 minute and 3 seconds, or when her second bar of HP is gone, she will enter her third and final phase by beginning with a high damage global skill. Gabriel will no longer be able to block her from here on out. Immediately find an opportunity to drop a sacrificial low-cost unit to trigger a mine under or behind her, then drop Shiyun and your DPS behind her. Throw everything you got down until the ship dies, the timer runs out, or till you kill the boss. And that's it for this boss. As I've mentioned, the mechanics are basically the same. What made it different was how tricky it is to keep your units alive while the global HP reduction is in effect. We offset this handicap by using 2 to 3 healers. I hope this guide is able to improve your scores or maybe even defeat the boss. Here's my successful run for you to emulate the deployment timing and distance. You might need to tweak it a little bit here and there due to, gear difference. But however, as always, if you have any questions on alternative units or any difficulties you may face trying to down the boss, feel free to leave it in the comment section below and I will help you to the best of my abilities. Until the Moderator Type B video, good luck in your runs. Bye!
머리 조심하세요. 머리 조심하세요. 머리 조심하세요. 선물입니다.
Jesus.